It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest, as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Ka'imi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
Well, as they say, if you drew it up, you couldn't have drawn it a whole lot better. That's exactly how you want to start the game. Excellent momentum off the opening kickoff.
Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Attack, attack! Attack!
Throwing now is Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Yellow!
Now Mahomes. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
10 yards.
Mahomes now to throw. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he takes a shot at the end of that play. Here's Mahomes to throw. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Motion man right is Rice. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Rashee Rice, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And they'll start the drive here with an end around. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
First down, Texans.
They run with Collins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Stroud, he's going to audible to something else. Second and 2. Eluding the pressure right. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. Now Collins. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Now a timeout called for by the offense. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Stroud sets up the play action. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Stroud looking to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Stroud. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. And Stroud now to throw. He's got it at the 15. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Out to his left. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but it left him no room to run as he goes straight out of bounds. He could only get a yard after all that. It's second down.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on 1st and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Joe Mixon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are back within a score. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's laid out deep for Rice. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Rashee Rice. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. A shotgun snap to Stroud. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Stroud working out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stroud out of the gun here. And his throw here's incomplete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. 2nd and 10.
Where's the hot?
Throwing now is Stroud. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Schultz. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dalton Schultz, 30 yards. And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
That's laid out deep for Rice. This is intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Final play of the half, Stroud. He's got this complete to Stover, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Stroud off the play fake. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Stroud. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively. to force the incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. They go play fake. Mahomes.
That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
They'll run here with Pacheco.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Now Patrick going to change the play.
Mahomes going to throw. Flush to his right.
He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release.
They'll set up the screen to Pacheco.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns.
And the kick here no good, but a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Chris Jones on the stop.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Stroud to throw it. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Stroud and company going for it. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
At the 29-yard line.
Yellow.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. A 3rd quarter action from Kansas City, 2nd down and 10.
On play action, it's Mahomes.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
Picked off by Justin Reed.
Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you to come in like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back.
Yellow. Hero 15. Watch out.
Now Mahomes.
That's laid out deep for Rice.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And the receivers I know, they have a great deal of confidence. Usually they stand in front of the mirror before games and say, not 1 touchdown, not 2 touchdowns, but 3 touchdowns. Trying to turn this one into a big-time performance.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Mahomes pass. Intercepted by the Texans. They'll take over first and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Watch out.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Dancing to his left. Past the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's good.
Yellow, yellow.
City Chiefs.
Watch out.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Samaje Perine. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
Well, now how about this return?
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Play action. Stroud now.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. With that, he's up to 160 yards receiving now for the ball game.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Now Stroud.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Texans will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Following the fumble recovery, Stroud over the middle, complete. It's Schultz.
Look at the big fella go.
Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Down inside the 10.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 40 yards.
And the Chiefs have made it a 3-score game now here in the 4th. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go. Let's go.
Back to throw. Stroud. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at triple zeros. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
Play action. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete.
Breaks through the contact.
Look at the big man rumble.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz, 75 yards.
And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
42, Texans 28.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Interesting. Mahomes wants to throw it. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And, oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Texans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Stroud to throw it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he's got some space here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retained possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Mahomes finding the talented DeAndre Hopkins. And the Chiefs tack on another score as they have dominated this 4th quarter. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Stroud. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Stroud sets up the play action. And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
White, Tony. 19 seconds. Hey, Uno
As Stroud now to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
we go. Hey, uno.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Just a formality now, but here's the extra point. And he missed it. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to lose either way, but the game ends strangely on a missed PAT.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the
I wanna try to beat the force. I wanna try to defeat the law. You wanna be with me, of course. Show you look a piece. Wanna see some more? See some more? See some more? See some more? See some more?